land, and they don't see eye to eye on the matter. But Big Mama showed me what she was having him do and why she needed it done this way. So now I have to go back and then tie these loose ends up, and that should be the what you call the coup de grace, the grand finale, because we already at Big Mama house. We just trying to unlock the motherfucking front door without tearing up nothing going in there, because we got much respect for Big Mama house. And Big Mama house is the Vice Lord house. And the Vice Lord house is black and gold, and that's the gold and the coal. And the coal is the carbon, and the gold is the platinum group metal, and I am the platinum back gorilla. So when we put this shit together, we'll be able to show y'all that we can find a way. If we work together, we can find a way to overcome this bullshit as a collective. But as long as we bickering back and forth, all we gonna be doing is giving the show to the motherfuckers and enemy that's laughing at us. So I don't want to get them motherfuckers no show. And that's why I'm willing to talk to the Canaan Land Moors, because I be iffy about Moors if they not Taj, if they not C. Freeman Hill, Hakeem Bey, Charles Mosley Bey. I be iffy about them because of the dirty Moors. But I'm not anti-Moor, but I am anti-dirty Moor. And all of the Moors know that there are dirty Moors. That's not a secret, right? And if they know there's dirty Moors, then they shouldn't be offended because I'm not a Moor that I call out the dirty Moors for being some rotten motherfuckers that they are. They just need to clean house. So Angel Bay, that's his job. That's not my job, right? I just have to tell the people where we was infiltrated at. And we was infiltrated by Albert Pike, who portrayed himself as motherfucking George Washington and Adam Weishaupt in order to deceive the people with morals and dogma at the 32-degree Scottish Rite Freemason level, coming in off of a conquistador's Etruscan Moor in cloak and concealed. And the image that we see is not even the real image of the real individual, whether it's the Adam Weishaupt, the George Washington, or the motherfucking Albert Pike. Those are all imposters that's put out as a cat's paw in order to conceal and cover dirty players behind the scenes. They use pale faces to block institutions to keep us from finding out what they was doing. And if we can't find out what they doing, we don't know what course of action to take to resolve the matter. But now that we know what they was doing, what they have done, and what they still was trying to do, and we knew how to overcome those obstacles, this shit is a wrap. So you can go to your George Washington Masonic Memorial, and you can see the phases of all of the dirty Moors who signed the contracts with Europe, with England, France, and Britain in order to subjugate the organic people from this land. All of their phases is there because they said if they surrender their phases and we surrender our feathers and sandals, that we wouldn't know us from them at the end of the 200 years. We disagreed and we was right. They ain't us and we ain't them. They look like us, but they ain't us. They don't love like us. They don't fight like us. They don't do nothing like us. Everything they do is weaponized against us. So I have to talk to anybody who willing to resolve this ugly ass matter we face with. Even if they come in hostile, I still have to endure the hostility in order to try to draw out a cognizant conversation with them in order to solve the problem. The key order of business right now is Big Mama house. That's that black and gold shit. That shit got to be straightened out, and it's going to get straightened out Monday, right? So once that gets straightened out Monday, and they find out that the treaty that was signed 50 years ago between Lord Stones and disciples, and that we was all infiltrated by motherfucking dirty players, and now we reclaiming what we got by connecting with the ones that Big Mama seeing. Big Mama make a motherfucker go upside your head in order to get you right, and then she'll make that motherfucker turn around and be So Instagram is starting to give me some shit. So we're gonna wrap this one up, y'all. But from there. All right. Peace out, y'all. Share the video, get the information out to the public. Scorpio gang in the house. I see y'all.
Hey, I'm actually Pisces, Libra ascendant, but hey, my son is a Scorpio though.
Hey, it's all the Scorpios in the comments doing their Scorpio thing, you know.
Hey, for real. And I'm working, so my bad if the signal go out a little bit. I work for Amazon. Now working for the Bezos.
Yeah.
But
so
I used to be an admin for ISIS's group, you know, and this was before I had saw your live where you were explaining, you know, all the scamming stuff she was doing, and I wasn't really using my discernment because a lot of her followers in her group are really low vibrational people who really don't be using their discernment to really figure out stuff on their own. And you see, I know I'm from the land. You know what I'm saying? My dad, he's from Chicago, and our ancestors come from Mississippi. And when I know my lineage, I know where I come from. When people disrespect that lineage in my line, I can't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? And for her to really come in and try to deceive, and knowing the fact that she constantly tries to preach that go inside yourself, but while still trying to sell a dream, that shit right there is deceitful. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you don't ever really be trying to sell nobody nothing. You don't even be pushing your 3 King shit that much either. You know what I'm saying? So when you come with your information and when you come with what you're talking about, you come authentic, you come real. You know what I'm saying? All the game you get for free from the heart. She don't be giving game like that, bro. And all the stuff that she really do be doing, she be grabbing shit from the community and trying to regurgitate it like she's the high priest, the high oracle, the one that's really talking shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was, like I said, I was in her her admin group and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I could tell the energy in there was a lot of not thinking for themselves as females. And a lot of females gravitate to that big mama because they need they need somebody to kind of hold them, to coddle them. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what we need as people. I don't care if you of my people or you not. You don't need to be coddled. You need to be able to go inside yourself and grab your power and take back what is yours. You know what I'm saying? As far as your bloodline goes. And you know, I've already been hip on the conjuring, the trying to do a certain spell to get this, selling some snake oil for that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already peeping the game. And see, I don't just work. I didn't really get on her shit before what's it called? Before last year. I just started seeing her shit from somebody else had posted her. I think it was like the aliens are black. Somebody posted her shit, and so I was like, oh, okay. Well, she's saying some shit about the industry, but she was in the industry. So even right there, I was like, well, how much is she really saying that's actually truth, actually factual? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, bringing it back, you know, to a lot of what you was talking about, you know what I'm saying, talking about the real dragon underneath the Vatican, you know what I'm saying, how though the real enemy and all those different things, you know, I try to, like, you know, I be explaining it to my wife, you know, and she's also up on the shit too. And so when we hear what you talk about the truth, it's like we can't do nothing but just spread it. You know what I'm saying? We can't do nothing but try to tell our people, even the people that ain't us, you know, the truth. And so, you know, there's a lot of that goes on, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I had to really step away from all that. And I appreciate, you know, you being 100. I appreciate you, what you're doing. I did have a question, though, about, you know, how do we really know our actual indigenous tribe? How do we find that information, but without going through like some DNA ancestry? Is it just through the?
Yes, sir.
Right. And once you caught in the religious controversy, the side effect is something called misery. Remember that? Weak and insufficient as thou art and good, O man. There's one thing in which you are firm and fixed, and his name is misery.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. So Those are from Unto Thee I Grant, The Economy of Life, which is originally a work done by Amenhotep III that was kept in the archives in Tibet. They got over here because Noble Drew Ali was able to get a message over the water. As you know, he was a merchant marine, as they say, a man that traveled the seas. That just means he learned how to navigate.
Right, he knew how to navigate the seas.
That means he can read the signs and the stars and match them to the shit going on the ground. Right. So when he got a hold of that, he was able to use parts of it to tell the story of what's going on in our community without telling us directly. It's coded.
We got to break that code.
Yeah, it's already broke. Right. So the Moorish Science Temple, going back to the Moorish Temple of Science, then they tried to say it was the Canaanite temple first.
Right.
It wasn't the Canaanite temple because the Canaanite temple was under the Moorish Zionist movement.
Exactly.
But he ain't a Zionist, he a Cherokee High Chief. So now you see that we had to take that shit over. So we had to duel with the Bays and the L's.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bays is the ones that wore the feathers and the L's wore the fezzes. When you go to the Washington Masonic Memorial in D.C., you see all of the responsible parties' fezzes is hanging up in the Masonic temple because them the Moors that made the agreement. You won't find the feathers though.
Right. And what the hell did they try to keep that from being known for? So that we wouldn't really overstand.
We ain't supposed to know who he is. We supposed to think we came over on ships and be so firmly convinced at this time that we can't stand up for our own self shit.
Exactly. That's what I was coming to. Okay.
But since we know who we are, because we know who Noble Drew Ali was, we know who Empress Verdiasi was, we know who Charles Mosley Bay was, we know who Ravana Bay is, we know who Taj Tariq Bey is, you know, we know who's telling us the corporation is a legal fiction operating in a de facto capacity under the color of law, violating all the laws of their own books. We know that they recruit us to do their criminal activity, then charge us with crimes, which is also against the laws of their own books. Because the government can't commit a crime to arrest you for committing that crime. It's called entrapment.
Got us hustling backwards like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I can't take up all this live rapping with you, but man, I really want to get with, I wish that I could get with you in some kind of way so I could be directed in the right way and speak properly, you know what I'm saying, on who and what I am and what we are, period. And as well as helping people to come to this overstanding.
Well, the main things you need to know, if somebody trying to get you to do paperwork, they're a slave catcher. If somebody trying to get you to take a shot, they're a slave catcher.
Yeah, I ain't worried about that shit. I ain't fucking with that.
I'm just giving you the guidelines so you know what you're dealing with.
Right.
The chief, Malik Angel Bey, Red Lodge, he is the one that all Moors should be under. So when you saying free Larry Hoover, you also saying free Chief Malik Angel Bey. He is the highest member ranked on the land on the Red Lodge, which automatically takes control of the Moorish Science Temple, which falls under the Red Lodge. As we reclaim our shit, he claimed the temple. He claimed the temple because he got what you call the de jure right on the land to govern over the affairs of the temple.
Okay.
Right. So they needed him out of the way. Right. So if you say you from Chicago?
Yeah.
So if you know any P stones, Tell him to teach you about Malik Angel Bay so you can have what you need to know.
Yeah, my mom was affiliated with him, but I've been gone away from that for so long. I have no more connections. I mean, I still have some family up there, but I really don't have any connection with anybody up there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We've been down south for a while.
Well, at this point in time, where we on this Free Larry Hoover campaign, which also includes Chief Malik Angel Bay. It includes all of the political prisoners, and they got a record of all of the ones they took prisoner. It's the size of a phone book.
Get all the leaders out the way. Get all the heads out the way. And them motherfuckers gonna be, we, meaning us, gonna be running around this motherfucker like chickens with their head cut off.
Yep. But once one of us can tell us what's going on, okay, so like Iran-Contra, George Herbert Walker Bush gave 6 pardons out in order to stop the investigation in the biggest drugs for guns trading with the enemy violation in the history of the country. Everything they accuse our leadership of doing, they was actually doing it in real time. Real time, that North motherfucker. Right. So while they calling Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover gangbangers and gang leaders, they the ones leading the gang. Of course, that's so fucking. They leading the DEA. They leading the CIA. They leading the FBI. They leading the motherfucking COINTELPRO operations on our land. And the COINTELPRO operations was specifically designed to take leadership out of our community. Exactly. It's their mission statement to stop the rise of any potential messiah who would incite the masses. Right. That's Hoover. Right. And that motherfucking cross-dressing motherfucker was the one who did that shit. Mm-hmm. But that motherfucking they would send guys in to act like they your friend, right? This is how they play us. And they would tell people, you ought to kill that motherfuckers. And as soon as you kill him, he ain't nowhere to be found. He ain't on the case, nothing. He ain't no witness. He just dipped. But you carrying, now you holding the weight. Right? So that's, yeah. They always instigating some shit, but ain't never around when the shit go down. So are we using that term right more? Or whether it be Aboriginal? All them European words. All that shit. Yeah. Right now we speaking English, so we using English terminologies to try to just find something that was here before English. Big. So the closest thing is just to say sovereign and tribal. Big. You know? And when we get done getting them off the land, you're gonna automatically know where to go to tribe up. That's what I'm talking about. You're gonna automatically know where to go to tribe up. It's gonna be simple. This shit, I mean, you could without a doubt, if you got any motherfucking inkling of any kind of motherfucking intelligence, if the spirit don't woke you up, you see what the fuck going on. You know this shit over with. And we just dealing with remnants and shit of the fall. Yep. You're exactly right. All this is just the leftovers. We just trying to clean it up now. I'm so motherfucking ready for this shit to be over with, cause I got children. They grown, but I got children. And I gotta make sure that they know what to do as they come on up of age, cause you know what I'm saying? And what about all the other babies? Now, meaning like the neophytes that are coming up right now, they got to know what to do. We got to have some OGs out here, like yourself and me, to guide that introduction that they're coming in. Yep, I'd say it all the time. We the elders now. That's it. And shit, it ain't many of us left. You feel me? They got our folks so caught up with this fucking bullshit that's going on, with this low frequency that's on the planet, fucking them off with this bullshit mumble rap that they looking at, and these bullshit ass programs on television. There's a food fucked up. So what? No leaders are coming up. They not being born. They not coming to the camp to be trained. Well,
So
you got to look at our condition, right? Every time a leader come up in our community, what happened to him?
they knocked the motherfuckers out.
He either disgraced or murdered or
They-
locked up.
Yeah.
Right?
They fall for
either
the okey doke, get caught up, you know, become a fucking plant or whatever because of greed, because of selfish human desires, or they get knocked out because they can't turn them that way.
Certain one of us can't sell out if we want to. It's
Think
just
out-
not in us.
It ain't in me.
We can't even fake it good.
You hear me? What the fuck? So yeah, you know, on this and what's so cold about it, you know that you're old soul, you know that you OG, you're original God. Because that shit that you've been dealing with that shit when you was 6, 5 years old. You knew you was different. You knew I'm not like this shit. I always been the motherfucking cast out, the black sheep or whatever however you want to put it. Nigga, I don't want to go over there and do this what you doing. Come over here and do this what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So as you come, you know, as I came up through life, Spirit constantly talking to me. Answer constantly talking to me, telling me to do this, do that. You start reading and study. Lock yourself off from all the clubs and groups and organizations that you fuck with. And you buckle down, you start studying. But I'm still don't have it all together. So when I ran into you, I was like, damn, I know cuz from somewhere, man. It's like your face just looks so fucking familiar.
That's because we probably was somewhere in the ayahuasca ceremony 500 years ago talking about how we were going to come back and fight these motherfuckers and get them off our land.
Shit, that sound about right to me. Sound about right to me, homie. You know? So I want you to keep up with me, man. I'm going to keep up with you because I'm going to be DMing you, asking you questions, and you feel me? And then look, the best thing about it, whoever out there in that live, whoever out there in that audience, they being touched by the same energy.
Yes, sir.
Feel me?
It's an undeniable force.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So just a reminder, man, the people who are out there right now, you got to understand and know, don't fuck with this shit. Don't play with it. Be serious about it. Get down on your studies. Don't feel rushed because you think you need to know this, and this. Take your fucking time. Action it shall be given.
Yeah.